Hi, back again. So, I think I left you last time explaining that I was too scared to go to sleep in case I didn't wake up. So, having not been in hospital really before, a couple of times just overnight, and obviously I've had my girls as well, it was very new. And I remember being wired up and I desperately needed the loo. So I was like, I have no idea what to do now. So I pressed the buzzer, lovely lady comes along and out comes the commode. There's a first for everybody, and here was my first on a commode. And bless her, she pulls the curtains round and she says, oh, do you need any help? Do you think you'll be all right? And I'm like, I think so. I actually couldn't stand up very well. My legs were like jelly. I was wired up to a machine and I had no concept of how to get under these wires. So it did become a little more stressful than I needed it to, because I'd left it right to the last minute before I wanted to go to the loo. Anyway, managed to get onto this commode, all dignity gone, wasn't really going to worry about that. It's fine, I'm alive, it's all okay. So I literally was bedbound. And again, this was all just new for me and very overwhelming. So I wasn't allowed to be unattached from the monitor in case something happened, which in itself was quite scary because that made me feel even more vulnerable than I probably was feeling. And I had to buzz and I had to start asking for help and I had to start relying on people. And again, in this whole journey, and we're only 4 months in, has been a massive, massive learning curve. It's to ask for some help. And the hospital were brilliant. You know, they couldn't help me enough. They would ask and we'll do it. And so they were fantastic. I've then had to stretch my comfort zone and ask my family and friends for help. So having rung everybody first thing on the Thursday morning that I wanted to talk to and tell what was happening, very kindly my friends started coming in, and I also needed to ring clients, so I got hold of clients. And even to this day, the overwhelm of how much people did want to help. One of my friends brought me food in, which was delightful. Another of my friends got my daughter off to New York for me, so I didn't get to see her go. The school was amazing, and they came and picked her up at 5 o'clock in the morning because she was due to go in off 5 o'clock in the morning on that Sunday, so she did still go. My mum, amazing. Enton, amazing. Everybody was just incredible. Internally, to ask for that help is such a massive step, and all of you know what I do for a living, and I think I'm a very resilient, well-balanced person, and this has really, really to my core challenged my ability to ask for my needs to be met. So when people said, do I need anything? I don't know, and I genuinely didn't know. I was so exhausted and I was so tired and I was so overwhelmed by the immense amount of information coming my way, the immense amount of questions, everything else. The one thing I do remember though is how special it felt that people wanted to come and sit with me and talk to me and be around me and spend their day changing their diaries to come and see me. And for that, I was hugely humbled and hugely touched. And I wish to thank all my friends and family for that. That really has carried me massively. And all my clients as well. Some of the emails, the cards, the comments, just the overwhelm of how much people actually take time for others when it counts was incredible. And that got me to thinking about, how do I want to be? How am I going to stay in touch with people? How do I want to contact people? And many of you that know me, I'm a bit anti-social media. But it's actually promoted my ability more to ring people, to contact people and say, do you know what? I'm just checking in. I'm just wanting to say hi. I just want some human contact with you. And that's one of the things that I've started to do, and that is a need of mine. That's how I function. And to manage that and to then extend that out and say to people, let's go for a coffee, or I'm ringing you to say hello. No other agenda than to touch base. So some things have really shifted in my mindset that's always been how I am. I'm now putting that into action even more than I did before. So a very overwhelming and humbling place to be, the hospital was. The staff were incredible. And really, I was in from Thursday and I came out the next Tuesday evening. It's a bit of a blur, I'll be honest. And in that time, I had so many tests. And I'm going to do a separate video on the diagnosis that I ended up having. And people just couldn't do enough. I do just need to tell you though, the lady that was opposite me, really quite poorly she was quite a strident character and very forthwith. And I think I didn't realise that could only have 2 visitors to a bed. She kindly pointed that out quite a few times. I think the word party came into her dialogue at one stage. Oops. So we did curb it and I managed 2 visitors at a time. Anyway, bless her. Well, we kind of put the worlds to right and we made our peace of me obviously upsetting her equilibrium. And she kept bringing me literature about heart attacks. The last thing I wanted to know was what was going on with me. I just wanted to be left alone. I just wanted the diagnosis and I just wanted to be her. And she was like, it's very interesting and you must read this and look at the mortality rates and da-da-da-da-da. And I think that was her way. And at the time, in the overwhelm and the fear that I was in, not helpful. On reflection, it was actually her being kind in her own bubble. So lots of small sort of lessons and gifts there. And again, I hope she's well. I know she was being discharged after I was. So, the diagnosis. I shall see you in a minute.